Hello!
Good morning, everybody.
And it's not morning where they're watching this, probably, but it might be. Good morning, afternoon, evening, or good day. I am Todd Coleman, Creative Director of Crowfall.
And I'm Thomas Blair, Design Director of Crowfall.
And we are here to talk about Game of Thrones and in-game. No, we're here to talk about Crowfall. And we could talk about Game of Thrones and in-game, but we're not going to. We'll do a follow-on video just for that. So, what are we here for?
We are here for the monthly Ace Q&A for May of 2019.
All right. Our fancy
that is
card
our
that we use.
Fourth card, about to be retired for the fifth.
All right. Sounds great.
All right.
So, what do we've got stuff from CC here we're supposed to say every time. So I'm going to tell it to you now. So first of all, for those of you who are currently in and playing, we love your war stories. We love people who are actually in and playing right now. So as you cut videos, please put them on the Twitters and tag them with the hashtag Crowfall Game and a hashtag War Stories. And if we see that stuff and it's cool, which it usually is, we will boost the signal for you. So please keep those coming. That's really cool. And I think we even recognize one like as the best of the week and do it a big call out to on our website on crowfall.com, which is also really cool. So we love these. It's really cool. We love having a chance to have a mirror reflect back on you guys, because ultimately that's what our design is all about, right? Our design is really about enabling you guys to make up your own stories. It's not a prepackaged set of short stories like a WoW or whatever. So please keep those coming. We really love them. And in doing so, not only are you getting a little bit of fame, but you're also helping us out because you're helping other people go, what is this game? Oh, wait, look. The game really is in the hands of the players, which is really cool. Lastly, Trial of Alara is going to end on Thursday, May 2nd. That's Thursday.
This week.
It is indeed. We have not yet given our date on the next trial because of 590, the new version that's coming right around the corner. We're trying to leave ourselves a little bit of flexibility because we're not exactly sure when that thing is going to hit. We will let you know with a little bit of notice. We like to give you at least 24 hours notice before a new trial starts. You want to talk, before we jump, we've got some good questions this week, but you want to talk a little bit about 590 and where we're at?
It is all coming together.
It is. This shuffling slowly towards Bethlehem.
I was playing all weekend.
Beast.
I was playing all weekend at home, fixing some bugs, last minute bugs, playing with the new death flight mode for the crow.
Yep, the crow flies now. It's no longer stuck to the ground. Well, it was never quite stuck to the ground. It had a little offset, but now it actually flies. You have flight control, which is really cool.
And it feels good.
Feels great. So the general feeling of this build, this new version overall, is vastly improved. You can also see it not just with the way you feel when you're moving around, but also with I was watching one of these war stories this morning, and I cringed every time I saw a character pop, because that's the old character controller had a lot of that. The new one does not. It's remarkably smooth. So I will be even more excited when we can start putting up those
just so much more
stories.
Smooth to play.
Yeah,
like you just
feels
feel
better.
It
Other people feel better, and it looks better because new lighting, right? Which is really cool. And what else we got in this one? Performance improvements.
There's a slew of things in this one.
Yeah.
It's not just the character controller and the lighting.
Yeah.
There's just all kinds of
performance is big too, right? We can handle more players on the server,
Absolutely.
which is going to be really big. We can handle more players on the screen, which is going to be very big.
We fixed a gazillion bugs.
Yes, of course.
As always.
So that's coming very soon. Keep an eye on our social media, because we've already started doing snap test, where we will pop it up on test with limited parts of the functionality, not the whole thing yet, for you guys to be able to jump in, check something out. It's up for a couple hours, and we take it back down. So that's already happening, and we expect to do more of that this week.
And longer ones, because it was only up for a little while.
Yeah, I think it was up overnight.
The next ones will be a couple days.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right. You ready? Question number 1. I will read some of these questions because I cannot answer them.
Okay.
These are Blair questions. Number 1, the amount of durability on armor is insanely low. I'm going to be hyperbolic like the poster here, because I can't just say, hey, you might want to take a look at durability. I have to say it's insanely low. It is jaw-droppingly low. It's the lowest it can possibly be.
Why?
It's a negative number.
Why did we even put armor in?
Right.
It's that low.
Anyway, the question, which is this part of the question, very valid.
Yeah.
Can it be increased? And of course it can.
Of course.
Shall it be increased?
It was increased.
Okay.
As part of 590. It is coming with the 590.
Cool. How much did you up it?
Almost double on the base template.
Okay.
So the piece that we didn't see was the addition of all of the new war tribes.
Okay. Yep.
So people are spending a lot more time in combat looking for things.
Yes, that's
Whereas
true.
previously they were only decaying in PvP combat.
Yeah.
Which few and far between.
So it was a double whammy. You took the durability down.
Correct.
And people were now out fighting more, which took it down even further.
Correct.
And on top of that, then we also haven't got all the loot drops in yet. So you should be able to now fight in war tribes as another means of getting effectively durability into the economy, right? As
Correct.
you're finding weapons and components and weapons that you can break down to components, that will really juice crafting.
That piece is coming in the future, not part of 590, but yes, it is. But again, all of that stuff factored in, and it's just like, hey, we need to see how it works, and we made our first adjustment.
Yeah, so our overall philosophy is to move in the direction of more easy come, more easy go. Mm-hmm. It seems like the first cut out of the gate did a pretty effective job of more easy go, but it didn't get enough more easy come, so we're now fixing that.
And now we're bringing the easy go down a little bit.
Okay, sounds great.
Great.
All right. Question number 2, Mr. Blair.
All right.
I'm gonna, this is in first person, so I will read as if, Mr. Blair, I have enough good color weapon additives to fully use 5 tools completely and partially use a 6th, but I can't get them. I believe the rate at which the tool drops is way too low, especially when there are specific tools required for a woodworker versus a blacksmith. So I will say, I appreciate I think it's way too low, as opposed to, I think it's insanely low and you hate the game, and why do you hate me?
Yes.
So that's nice, thank you. But do you want to answer this one?
Yes, so the tools they're talking about are the weapon additives that come from the hunger crystals.
Okay.
So every time you harvest a rank 6 or higher hunger crystal, you have a chance for a weapon additive to spew out. You also have a chance for a tool to spew out. They lost them, who knows? That's where they are, why they're there. And the rate is fairly low, and I think also a lot of the reports we're getting are from God's Reach. So this is definitely a challenge as we get feedback right now.
Yeah.
Is players aren't telling us what the rank of the thing that they're doing it is against.
Okay. Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
Right. So we've purposely made it such that God's Reach currently doesn't have a lot of the good stuff.
Yeah.
Just because we want you to go to the campaigns.
Yeah, of course.
So,
yeah.
But if a person were to spend 4 hours on God's Reach and be like, "Hey, I didn't get anything," we're like, yeah, because we didn't put it there.
Because you're going to a place where you're not supposed to get that.
Correct.
Right? That makes sense. So some of this is communication, and some of this is also just loot table adjustment. Right?
Correct.
Like, for example, this isn't in the question, but I've heard that in the current build, playing through, major disciplines are much easier to get than minors. That's clearly not the intention as well. So we've got a couple more cuts we need to take on the loot tables. And a few of them are kind of stubbed out because they're where you're actually supposed to get the thing is not in the game yet, right?
Correct.
Like, we don't have thralls in yet. Well, okay, just shove it over there on these monsters, or put it over there on the.
Eventually, the miners will go to where the majors are. Currently, the majors will go to the thralls.
Cool. Okay.
So again, a lot of this is filling holes that we don't have the systems completed for yet.
Yes.
But we want to let them be able to play right now.
Yeah, no, okay. So, and that ties directly into question number 3, which is inventory challenges. Is that going to be fixed in 590? Unfortunately, the answer is not quite. We're close, but it's probably going to be the next build out. So the overall challenge with inventory is it's a technical challenge, right? Is our database persistence layer is not yet ready to handle the kind of the level of inventory that we really need for this game. I'm trying. I think I said this in the last one
you
too.
did.
Is I'm trying to come up with some coping mechanics. I've been pushing to see if we could get some kind of a chest or container for people to be able to put in their EKs. That would help a little bit. We know storage is an issue. I don't have a great answer for it yet. We're working on that great answer. So in the meantime, you have to suffer through a little bit. I apologize for it. This is the challenge of trying to actively play a game that's not done yet. We're working on it though. We know it's an issue. It is not intended. We will absolutely fix it, and I'm hoping we will fix it in the next version.
I keep getting screenshots of just full inventories.
Oh, I know. For sure. So
all right.
So there you go. All right. What is the point of low-rank mobs in the campaign worlds? Because they don't have good drops, they don't have good resources, they aren't worth the experience points. Why are there so many? So this is an excellent point, actually, an excellent question. And it has to do with our procedural generation. So the truth is, in some campaigns, we will need those, right?
Absolutely.
If we have a campaign come up that is everybody starts from first level, you're going to need these. But if we have a campaign that comes up where you're allowed to bring in 30th level characters, you're clearly not going to need these, or at least not need as many of them. So we need to just spend some time on this. We need to balance it. We've got the knobs in the procedural world generator to be able to do it. I think it would also be helpful if we, and I don't believe we have the knobs for this yet, if we had the ability to step up the parcel ranks over the course of the season.
We do not have that yet.
That would actually be really helpful, because then in spring they could start a little lower
Right.
when people are coming in potentially a little lower, and over time they're kind of ranking up. This is just a balance question. I don't disagree with the point. I think it's a very valid point. It's just we haven't quite gotten to it yet.
Yep.
So, question number 5. What is preventing you from making the Spirit Bank only usable in the beachhead? Certainly, we absolutely could. And why haven't we done it? I guess the real answer there is because I was afraid it would be too painful on the people out in the world harvesting. If this is, I mean, we already just talked about inventory being very, very tight. You really don't have anywhere where you could go and store your stuff. We don't have any kind of bag or any kind of protection for items right now that you get when you're out harvesting. So it just, you're taking a situation where you're in the game of cat and mouse, mouse being the people out harvesting, actually trying to get the stuff, and cat being the people who are eating the mice. Right now, we already have a game of cat. There's not really a lot that the mice can do to escape or make the game fun for them. Making it to where they have no chance to keep their stuff. In fact, they're absolutely, is just piling even more power on top of cat. So that said, we are moving that direction. It may even be in 590. I know that the bank now in the temples is coming online. Like it's actually the new temple that's going in this version does have the banking area. I think this won't fully get addressed though until embargo is in, which is actually in the next one.
I know I've seen tickets on it. I don't know where they're at in the system.
So that's why the answer is because I already have people who are, you go out, you harvest, you get killed, you say, well, this is kind of crappy. You go out and do it again, you get killed, and then you say, I'm out, and then you quit. That's obviously not good for the game, even though it's momentarily fun for that one cat. Eventually, the cat runs out of mice, and now cat's not happy either. So that's the actual reason is why we haven't done anything to prevent it. It's because the other pieces aren't there yet. So when the other pieces are there, I'm more than happy to do it. It is still the plan. We're just not quite there yet.
Yeah.
But we're getting very, very close. These pieces are snapping into place. Leatherworking, not as rewarding as the other harvesting professions because we have to kill monsters while other types don't have to kill nodes. Actually, technically, you do have to kill nodes. That's kind of the whole point of the harvesting system. And I guess the point there being that leatherworking, however, is more dangerous because the monsters fight back. And I'm not sure that that's true either because you're actually out in the world doing another activity and it's kind of a bonus that you get on top of that activity. Whereas in harvesting, you're just doing harvesting. But nonetheless, let's assume they have a valid point. I don't necessarily disagree. We don't have any mother loads, for example.
Correct.
So,
that's one of the things we're looking at.
Okay.
Is mother loads. And there was also the thing we didn't factor in was the decay you take from fighting those things.
Okay, no, that's a valid point.
Right, so you are taking combat decay from fighting those things,
Yep.
whereas the people who are just running around hitting ore nodes do not have to suffer that same decay.
Yeah.
So yes, it is a little worse for those guys. Also, the night spawn mobs, which is something we're looking at, correct? Mm-hmm. Right, we're going to change them to, they only turn into hungerized mobs when they're near hunger nodes.
Yeah, so that was actually performance as much as everything else.
Right.
Having every single mob in the game transform into a hungerified version, not great for performance, and it wasn't actually giving me the feeling that I wanted anyway, because it made the hunger nodes feel oddly less impactful. It didn't seem to matter as much. They mattered for harvesting, but they didn't make any difference on the mobs around them. I think this new system will be more performant and will be more fun.
Well, also, the night mobs have less leather and meat on them in general.
Okay, yeah.
They're starving, they're turning into
okay.
crystal.
That's interesting.
So that's also causing it to be less
harder
rewarding.
to find leather,
Right.
sure, because half of the time then the game those things were not available.
They produce like 50% less.
All right, so that seems reasonable. So in terms of the mother load, what I'm imagining is some kind of large animal carcass, right? Is like you come across a dragon carcass or something like that, and effectively that is a large-scale producer of leather. It's actually almost more similar to one of the quarries or the mines or the mills, right? Though it would be cool, and we can do this with hunger. We haven't extended it yet to the rest of the system, but it would be cool to have that be a random spawner as well, so that once it's been fully harvested, it disappears there and it pops up somewhere else in the world. I actually think that would be nice because I don't like things to get too static in our worlds. So
I despise it. I really want more randomization in there on the spawner so it starts to feel more like exploration rather than I go to this spot and wait for this thing.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's not a lot of fun.
So, cool.
Okay,
all
I
right,
think that's the last of the question.
Number 6. So, okay, that's all we've got this week. I guess because we had quite a bit of other stuff to to cover with 590. And there was one note that CC wanted us to make about the testing server reward for this month.
It is a Sapphire Tankard.
Okay.
Which will be blue.
Okay.
For those of you who enjoy the colors.
All right. Sounds good.
If you play for 4 hours or more on the test server.
Okay.
During the month of May, and it attaches to your belt.
Cool. And this is something that you're going to get on all the servers and after live.
Because it's an account entitlement.
It's an account entitlement that's also purely cosmetic. So it doesn't give you any benefit. Just looks kind of cool.
Just our thank you for playing on test and helping us test these things out, because it really helps us when you jump onto test and get us those early bucks.
Especially right now when we're trying to get the new version out, right? Because we have a series of basically bots, little monkey bots that run around the game, so we can use that to test and see how server performance is holding up. But monkey bots never act the same way as players. They just don't, right? They can't cover all the crazy kind of interrelations that players cover, so it's always great to get more exposure on the test server.
And the players are just better at it. I mean, they know all the nuance to everything at this point.
Yeah.
So they're going to find stuff like that we just wouldn't see in our own internal testing.
And as you can imagine, I mean, how many powers do we have now?
1,300.
1,300 or something. That's a lot of stuff to test. And client controller kind of touched all of it. So any coverage you guys can help give us there is certainly appreciated. And we're going to give you a Sapphire Tankard to show you that appreciation. So I think that's it for this month.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
We will see you guys on the forums as always. We will see you at our next live stream, which I don't know when it's going to be, but I'm sure we'll have one. CC seems to like them. So
and in game.
And we will see you in game. So thank you very much. Crowfall.com. If you are just tuning in, please go and register an account and check us out.
All right.
All right. Send in your war stories. #war stories. See you guys.